Hello everybody, thank you for coming back. Episode number 32 now of Edgewater, Saskatchewan. Still going pretty good. We're doing alright. So, we know what we've got to get on with now. And that is buying the pickup and using the pickup to pick up all the swaths of flax. So, pretty straightforward episode really, to be honest with you. I can't imagine there'll be a huge amount more than that. But there's a few things we need to organise to get down there. So, the combine is actually already at the shop. We haven't bought the pickup yet, but it means that we probably won't be using the low loader because it's kind of halfway there already anyway. So that saves one job. What we will need to do is take the grain cart down, or the auger wagon. Which we will do on the new case, which by the way I haven't actually touched since the end of the last episode, but I do really like it. So we will do that for definite, but we'll just drive it down. There is no point loading up the low loader, and given how fast it is, it's super speedy compared to what we're used to. So we will just drive it down there. Honey's coming along pretty good. Nice, bit of passive income there. We'll just do what we always do, and that's kind of the morning chores, and we'll just run around and just make sure everything's in order. It's clearly got lots of water because they're looking nice and green still. Wow, I say lots of water, it hasn't actually. It's got 1,700 litres thereabouts, so actually we do need to look at topping that up. What it has got though is 7,000 nearly litres of lettuce. 7,000 litres of lettuce. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot of money. They're about 3,000 per litre. Per 1,000 litres. Per litre would be nice if they were 3,000 per litre. That would be pretty good. No, £3,000 or $3,000-ish per 1,000. So it's a lot of money there. I say it pretty much every episode. I need to fix this. I don't know why these pallets are kind of flying. Just need to smooth that out a little bit. So we've got some of that. Let's just check on the water. I didn't even look then. So this one's okay, but this is the one I put extra water in anyway. So this is doing alright. Again, 4,000 litres of that plus what's there, which is what? So it's pretty much 1,000 there. So we've got 5,000 litres of maple syrup. This is real good. Grass is ready to harvest. It's at the kind of optimum cutting height now, but we're going to look at things like lime and fertilizer first before we do that anyway. I mean, we could not this episode, but we could just cut what we've got, put it into the silo. Would be fermented by the time we get to January, I think it is. So we could do that. We could also fertilise it and lime it and then still get another cut in before January anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. Pigs, again, I'm assuming there's 20 in here again, so they have bred. I did sell a third pig, by the way, which is why you might notice this has moved us slightly. Right at the end of the recording, once I did the kind of exit to the episode, I just quickly sold one more pig, just to make sure that we kind of had the room for the 3 babies that were due. So, same again though. How are they looking for food? Plenty of food. Over 10,000 litres of slurry now though in that pig pen, so that's pretty good. And again, same. Over 5,000 litres of water and manure. 303 litres. That is getting a little bit low now. So we do need to look at that. And with the soybean, we have there's another 4,000 litres of soybean on top of what's there. That's incredible. We're going to have to start loading that up ready soon, I think. It's all going good. But yeah, we know what we've got to do. I don't want to risk it. I'm not sure if it really matters. But obviously on here, flax you can only harvest September, October. Now in theory, we have already harvested it by cutting it down and putting it into swaths, but I don't want to risk it just in case we get to November and it doesn't let me pick it up for whatever reason with the harvester. Probably will be fine either way, but I'm not going to risk it. What I am interested to know though is just how is it going to yield? And secondly, just how is this flax straw going to yield? Because that's an interesting little business venture we may look into. Yeah, so we'll jump straight into the shop. We'll find the header for it, the pickup. I'm kind of recording this episode not straight away. I'm doing this the following day. I'm recording this the evening of actually you seeing the last episode, so I've not really had too many comments yet regarding whether or not you need that kind of crop catcher, but I am just going to get it. The 3 pigs that we sell today is going to pay for that anyway, so we'll get that. 33,000. Start the episode spending. Notice I did that before I looked at the used. Although to be fair, there's not really anything in there we need anyway. That's part of the swather, but I believe its only benefit is conditioning, so it turns it straight into hay rather than you have to ted it. So it's quite a good idea, but obviously we don't need that, not for what we're doing. Maybe if we were running cows, we would need something like that, but we certainly don't for a minute. So to be honest, all the stuff that's on the low loader can just stay there. We do need to move it, we need to tidy it up. We're going to need the small John Deere at some point. Right, let's get the case sorted, and at the very least that can make its way down to the field with the auger wagon. I find now actually with this case, by the way, it is much easier to reverse the trailer. I was quite nervous saying that then though, because I thought, you know, as soon as I said that, I would have crashed the trailer, and then I would have looked like an idiot. But I didn't. I was very careful. Right, we need to get this on its way. I'll probably let the drunken worker take over from here. Good. Target is unreachable. Okay. Bizarre. Right, fine. Oh my word. We need to sort out a respray of this, don't we? Look at the state of it. Poor truck. Anyway, I need to get to the harvester. Where is the harvester? There it is. And hopefully a nice shiny new pickup is there on the floor ready for us. And we'll head straight to the field, meet the worker there, I would imagine. And again, much like baling, I guess this is kind of a similar script to doing baling, I suppose, isn't it? Just following a swath around. So I very much doubt we're going to be able to hire a worker to do this. So this is going to be a manual, which is fine, because you kind of shouldn't do workers all the time, I guess. I did notice actually after recording the last episode on Mr. Seeley P's Saskatchewan series he's got going, he actually has, I'm pretty sure it's the same harvester, just with the extension, but he actually has the absolute biggest case header, and it seems to run it. I'm quite surprised at that. I don't know if you would say that's maybe quite realistic, I'm not too sure. But certainly it means we can run bigger than what we actually had, so selling that header just to get money was probably worthwhile either way. Because although we may not go for that absolute biggest header, it certainly means we can go for something a bit bigger, which we're going to need as we start to expand big fields like this. Now I don't know what our worker was doing. Worker J this time. Should we have a look? Oh, he's doing alright. Just like moaning. Right, okay. Wow, I tell you what, the driver of that red car thinks he's driving a bus. What is your problem, mate? What is your problem? Seriously. And also, why did the worker leave the tractor running? Right, let's shuffle that over out of the way. There we go. Hopefully we'd left enough room now for that red car. Yeah. He's gone, speeding off. Right. So, this is going to be a first. This is going to be a first, and I actually have no idea how this is going to yield. And we'll find out after the first few. And we'll try and work out roughly if it is going to be worth that investment of the spinnery, which, by the way, I don't even know how much it is. Okay, I need to unfold the harvester. Of course we do. We need to move the ladder. Okay, good. Right, let's get going. So, that must be the straw. Ever so slightly different colour, maybe? There's not really much in it though, is there? Maybe it's kind of a bit pinkier? Don't know. That is a pretty close colour though. But the swath looks just as big. In fact, I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing, but that swath is bigger. Visually, the swath is bigger. So what does that mean? Does that mean we're going to get even more straw? I mean, I guess physically that probably would be possible, but you never know. This was my little concern, by the way. I don't know, is the pickup going to try and pick up grass? Yeah, it does. Yeah, okay. Right, seems to be alright. My concern is it does something weird with this pickup. It kind of changes all the content of the harvester into grass, which in theory it shouldn't do because the combine harvester isn't compatible with picking up grass, but it certainly picked it up. So I'm not too sure about that one. Anyway, let's see how this is going to go. To be honest, I don't feel this is too bad though. I mean, it's got just approaching 1500 litres now, and we are literally maybe a third of the way around the first headland, maybe almost halfway round. So actually the yield seems pretty good. Tell you what, I think this is yielding good. We filled the tank pretty much, a little bit further now, another 5 seconds maybe, and then we're going to have to stop and unload for the first time. But that didn't seem like it took too long, to be honest. No, pretty good. Alright, let's get the auger out. We'll leave it running, and we'll just grab the case there a moment. Now I assume, I hope, that this auger wagon does unload flax. I assume it does, because it's a grain. We'll soon find out anyway. So I can't remember the capacity of this auger wagon, or grain wagon. So I don't know if we are going to have to get the Mac actually and bring down the grain hopper, just so that we can unload it into it. We'll have to see. We'll kind of know after this if this is going to be enough. Yeah. So roughly this is only really going to take, yeah, let's finish now. This is only going to take 3 combine loads full of grain. Is there 2 more combine loads full of flax to be picked up? It's deceiving because the headlands are actually, you know, the biggest part of the whole field, because they go right around the outside. So actually we have probably picked up a good chunk of it, even though it doesn't seem like we've done a lot. So potentially, I don't know, I'm not sure. This might fit into 2 loads, probably won't. And again, trying to keep it real, we'll get the Mac, we'll bring the Mac down with the grain hopper, we'll do it properly. We'll unload from the auger wagon into the actual trailer off the side of the field, a bit like last time. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so we've pretty much got, out of the 2 headlands, more or almost the same amount as what we've got out of the whole entire inner part of the field. Just goes to show how big those headlands are. And it's typical, isn't it? Didn't quite get that last bit, we're going to have to make that little trip back now for that. But again, now, I'm assuming this is good though, and I'm assuming this is giving me some sort of yield bonus. I don't know how I would know, unless I did all of this field without the pickup, just as a test, but I don't really need to be doing that. I'm sure someone has done that before. But I'm assuming it's good. And what it's unloading, so we've got essentially just over 14,000 flax. What is that actually worth? There it is. Flax. So wow, 3.5 grand at its best price. So, you know, 45 grand's worth maybe we've made out of this field. Yeah, I mean it's good. We need to. In fact, it's a product that we can sell in 2 months' time as well, which is good. That's really good. In fact, and what was the last crop that we did? It was wheat, wasn't it? When's that best? December as well. So what we'll do is we'll fill up the grain hopper, and then as soon as we get to December, we will take the Mac to the sell point and just sell it. Oh, that'll be another extra little boost of money. To be honest, it's the sort of money I forgot that we were going to have, so that's good. I think other than getting carried away with stuff in the shop, I think our next big buy needs to be probably the spinnery maybe. But we could do another field. So that'll be our next big buy. Right, there we go. So, I better turn that off actually. Job well done. Field is officially harvested. Now, I don't know whether or not we should get a baler, because I'm pretty sure you can bale flax. I'm sure I've seen it, or bale the flax straw I should say. I have seen it, I've seen Mighty Mike do it I think, on his series, which is a really good series by the way. It's definitely worth watching. It's one of the ones I enjoy more than a lot of the other ones actually on this map. He is pretty good. But I've seen him do it, so I don't know. Do we get a baler? Have I activated? There's nothing new in the shop yet. Nope. Nothing to tempt me. Have I activated any balers? Now, actually, I think I've put the John Deere one on. Yeah. And now that the kind of 3 limit isn't a problem, because we've sold the mower and we've sold one of the tractors, we can go ahead and get one of them. So we need £12,000. Yeah, there's nothing else that even comes close, is there? Right, we need £12,000. So that, I think that needs to be the next priority. We'll get this baled up. We've already got the front loader on the tractor. We have got a weight, although I haven't seen it probably since like the 2nd episode. But there is a weight somewhere. And then we'll pick them up. Pick them up properly, of course. No auto loading. And we'll aim to sell them. What is flax straw worth? You can tell this is the first time for me doing stuff like this, because I have to keep pausing and checking stuff. Yeah, so this, I mean, it's worth a lot compared to straw, but it isn't worth a lot, is it really? 117 per 1,000. And I don't suppose... No. We're not able to see how much it takes to make the actual fabric until we buy it. So I'm just going to go and visit it a minute. And I would imagine, without turning on things, the trigger to buy it is normally at the front. Is it here maybe? Right, okay, so 60,000, that's not a bad price to be honest. I always prefer going with the ones that are on the map. Just to kind of give you a little bit more exploration. So we will get that one. We won't place our own for the exact same price, even though we could. But we will get that. So 60,000 and 12,000. That's our kind of priority, I think. Let's jump back to the case. And we'll just get this out of the way, and then we'll set the harvester on a worker just to start making its way back to the other field. I am going to take the pickup as well. I'm still undecided what to put here. We can put something here. I still don't know what to do. I mean, in theory, I shouldn't really be leaving that out in the weather, especially if it snows. Can we do anything in this episode to make 12,000 so that we can get the baler? Maybe we can do the baling as well. It'd be nice to kind of get the rest of that field job done, because then really in the coming months we can concentrate on the the reliming if it needs it, although it shouldn't do hopefully, but fertilizing, preparing it, and then obviously planting the new seed when it comes to the month, I guess, because of course seasonal growth. So it'd probably be in the new year, to be honest. I don't think. Let's have a look. I don't think. Yeah, we can't plant anything at all now. Not in October. So we'll have to organise something, and it's gonna have to be something with real straw, because we've actually used all of our straw up for the pigs. So it'd probably be, I don't know, wheat or barley maybe. We'll have to see. What is he doing? What is he doing? Why is he doing that again? Why is he driving around the lamppost? That's not our field. God, my neighbour's going to be teasing with me. Alright, let's get out and stop him. We did this last time. Come on, mate. Right. Silly man. Oh, I forgot about the honey as well. What is honey worth? Oh, there's so many little different kind of passive incomes going on here now. I can't even keep up with them all. Right. Good. Let's open this door up because I am pretty sure this time round the harvester will fit in there with the pickup still attached. In fact, we can probably drive it in from that end. So let's just do that a minute. Oh, I've already gone that far, so we might as well carry on and we'll reverse it in. Lovely. Wonderful. Right, so we need to get the stuff off the low loader and then we need to reverse that back in there so we can get the big grain hopper out. Just to unload our auger wagon. So that's one job we need to get on with. We also need that John Deere to sort the manure out and potentially figure out now which one of these products we're going to sell a few of. Albeit not at full price, but £12,000 worth so we can get a baler. That is definitely something we need to do. So, we're in October. The price isn't too bad. What will we get for that one? Bowling Restaurant does always seem to be the best price. Oh no, it's Brenda's Fresh Produce. I think that's down near our mate Larry's. So we could potentially take some lettuce there. That's not a bad price actually. That isn't too bad. What about honey? Okay, again, Brenda, not too bad of a price. The fast food restaurant, don't think we've been there yet. So honey, again, the loss is just the same really. About 500, 400, 500 less per thousand, just like the lettuce. So selling it early, regardless, doesn't really matter with those because we're going to lose the same anyway. What was soybean? Absolutely miles off, so we won't sell soybean. And what was the other thing? That was it, the maple syrup. I can't keep up with them. It's just too many. This tractor just looks absolutely ridiculous now. It looks like you can push it over. It looks like if you give it a hit on the side, the wheels will collapse. But hey, it does a job, doesn't it? This is the next, not necessity, but want. This is the next one, just to get rid of this. Probably upgrade this for another tractor that has narrow tyres. That's the important thing. Because we do need those narrow tyres. Now, it'd be interesting, just mentioning the realistic approach again, the realistic mods, when we do that new kind of series. And right at the beginning, when the money is tight, you're going to have to kind of settle for whatever you can afford. With the mud mods attached and the wheels, the REA selection of mods, which I really like, the tyres will actually make a huge difference. And not only will it destroy crop if you drive on it, which we're going to have to deal with, because if we can't afford the right tools, then we're going to be damaging crop. It's going to happen. But that, along with the kind of the mud mod, we're actually not going to be able to even drive on certain types of field. We won't get any traction or anything. It's going to be really good. I am quite excited. I just wish that they would hurry up a little bit with this update, just to kind of resolve its few little issues that it has. Because I do want to play it. I do want to get on it. Right, let's shut that off. Jump back into this. The reason I moved it forward then, by the way, is because the sprayer was hitting the roof. You might have noticed as well, actually, it's kind of fixed itself. The mast isn't now in the wheels, which has suddenly made it taller. So I'm quite glad that I didn't reverse it all the way into the garage, because all of a sudden when I next started the game, it would have been wedged. I would have had to reset it. Tell you what I have noticed though since the update. I should touch wood as I say it, and I probably shouldn't say it aloud, but the trees are not flickering. And they always flicker this time of the year. I should not have said that. I've just jinxed it. But it is nice to see. It's nice to see they've done an update without the flickering issue coming back again, which is really good. Now, this is just going to live in here. Because I know a farmer locally who's left his sprayer out over the winter. He's come around to use it again now. He mainly farms kind of beef stock really, but he does do crops and he does do corn. And he's come to use his sprayer again now, and because he left it out, he's had to replace, I think he was telling me the other day, 7 or 8 nozzles on the end of it, and they're like 30-40 quid each. So realistically, you just wouldn't leave your sprayer out, would you? More fool him, he shouldn't have done that, should he? It's going to cost him a fortune now. And I guess the other thing that this game doesn't really take into account is how much time that takes. So, you know, for him, he's spent a few £100 now replacing small little parts, but he's probably spent a good 4 or 5 hours actually on the machine doing it. And this game doesn't really take that into account. Everything's kind of instant and I guess seems easy. You know, connecting this sprayer out like I just did then by pressing A on the Xbox control. That's probably a 20-minute job in real life. So yeah, I guess FS19 had a little mod. Wasn't quite that detailed, but it was one where if you repaired the vehicle, you actually had to wait a certain amount of time while it was doing it, and I quite liked that. And I guess from a realistic point of view, and if or when I do this next one, I'll set those rules. The game won't actually do it, but I will set the rules. For example, you know, if we were to respray our pickup truck, we wouldn't be able to use it for 2 days, just while the paint was drying, for example. We'll make up something like that. We can't use certain products for a little while whilst they're being repaired. Okay, good. Right, so I've cleared all that off for one main reason. I need the low loader, and I need to bring it around here so I can get these pallets of honey onto the back of it. Now, how many did I say that we needed? We need £12,000, don't we? And each pallet is worth, say 3, 6, 9, 12. We just need to sell it all. Are these 1,000? Oh dear, they're not, are they? 400 litres. No, it's not as much there as I thought, you know. Okay, forget that. It's already in position to load up some lettuce. Let's get going. Okay, right. I've loaded up some lettuce. I've loaded up pretty much £12,000 worth, I think. Well, I mean, I've loaded up 4,000 litres worth of lettuce, but I'm going to take one more stack because they are a little bit less than 3,000 each, and it'll be annoying if we get there and we're just a little bit short. But I'm not going to take all of it. The rest of it can just sit there because it's not at its best price anyway. So we will sell that at a later date. You know, we've got to make lots of trips to sell lots of product anyway. We've got soybean, we've got the honey. Probably we'll have a little bit more of it by the time it's salad time. So we're going to be making those trips either way. But I am just going to take this. So there should be 5,000 litres there of lettuce. There isn't much more lettuce actually left in there anyway, and we do need to sort that water out. Put that over here out of the way, get some straps on it, but we'll just get a worker on taking this down to the shop because very, very soon we're going to be getting that baler, and then we'll go straight to that field and do up some bales. I didn't look, but I pretty sure that this particular tractor will not fit a front loader, which is a shame, because to be honest, that other John Deere is not really up to the job of picking up big bales. And I'm pretty sure that John Deere one is also a square baler, so quite big. Let's make our way down to the sell point. In fact, make my way down to the sell point. Where are we actually even selling it? That would be good to know, wouldn't it? That would be a good start. Right, so fast food restaurant, or the Red Marble Bowling Restaurant, is pretty much the same price. So we know where the bowling restaurant is, which is there. Is the fast food one any closer? Is it up here? Okay. Yeah, that is closer, isn't it? Let's go there. We've not been there before either. So it'll be a new little area to explore. Well, we've been in that area actually, but we haven't been to this restaurant, I don't think. We'll get there, and we probably have. Right, hopefully no issues with selling like we did with the farmer's market. Nope, looks pretty good. So this should take us quite clearly over 12,000, I would say. Because bear in mind, we only had 2,000 anyway. But I wanted to be safe. I didn't want to do that trip twice. Good. Oh, and of course, environmental score. I forget about that. Actually, that was... we might as well have just brought the rest of it, really. Thanks, NC. You were right, by the way. You knew you were right. That's why you commented it. But yeah, the field did go up to... you said mid to late 80s, maybe even 90s. And it was pretty much smack bang in the middle of your estimations. Nice one. It's gone up to 85 now. So yeah, I should have swathed that field before I sold that little bit of silage in the last episode. I probably lost out on a couple of $1,000 maybe. So my bad. Now, interesting. I didn't check. That 66, which it was last episode, that has actually gone. It isn't there anymore, so I must have got every bit properly. So that is fantastic. What is my entire environmental score now? So yeah, so that's good news anyway with the environmental score. For some reason, it wasn't telling me what my overall environmental score is. And I think it's just me, to be honest with you. The menu is a little bit weird to use sometimes. But I pressed a few random buttons and it didn't work, so I gave up. But anyway, anything new in the shop to tempt me? Ooh, what is that? Oh, interesting. I still think, to be honest though, I'm not a fan of round bales. I'm not a fan of round bales. It's going to cost more money. We haven't got enough anyway. It's only got a little bit more money, but I just, yeah, nah, I'm not interested in that. It's funny how we're talking about buying a baler, and a baler has come up. Right, it's very unlikely it's going to work, but I have set that Mac to return to the farm with a worker. It's never going to happen. That is a recipe for disaster. But we've done it anyway. Although I'm pretty sure in the top corner it's gone now. I already seen that he was blocked, so yeah, that probably won't work out. So yeah, we ain't going to get that round baler. Not keen on round balers. Let's go for this. What's the difference? This one has definitely got some form of hydraulics attached to it. So we'll go with that one. Same price, makes no difference. I'm not worried about the wheel brands or anything on that. 12,000. Good. I'm kind of glad we sold the mower and the John Deere tractor. That is allowed for that. Right. It's not come up in the top corner that he's blocked. So maybe... and the money is still going down, so he's still driving. Oh no. Spoke too soon. It's just come up about 6 times. What is he doing? Oh dear. Why is he taking a left there? I don't even know why he's going left. Because the farm is right. Oh dear. Where is he going to go? Different country. Jeez. Okay, I didn't take the truck all the way back actually, because there's a good chance we're going to need it to move these bales. Although, if I'm honest, if we buy that spinnery, we are no way, absolutely not, getting that trailer into that spinnery. It's just not going to happen. So we might have to buy a bale trailer, one that we can tow. Now that we've got a slightly faster tractor, it doesn't really matter so much now. My main reasoning for getting the Mac was, well, two reasons. One is I just wanted to use the big kind of American style trucks, but secondly was because the equipment we had was so slow. We just needed something faster, something that could kind of travel around this big open map much faster, and the Mac has done really good for doing that, but it's not so important now that we've got a tractor that does 33 miles per hour. Okay, so we're here, baler is unfolding. So the thing with Flax, so yes, it makes decent money, yes, you make decent money out of the straw as well, but the entire job from a harvesting point of view is manual. You can't set a swather on a worker, you can't harvest on a worker, you obviously can't collect the straw on a worker. The only thing you can do is the initial kind of planting and treating the actual soil and the crops themselves with fertilizer, but from that point onward, yes, they make you loads of money, but you literally have to do it all yourself. So you have to earn that money, you have to work hard to get it. And actually, when you base it on kind of time to do things and not being able to use a worker, is it really as good as it seems? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Depends what the kind of fabric situation is like, I guess. I'll tell you what though, we've got a bale already. This straw is crazy. This straw is yielding so much. I mean, don't forget when we had wheat, we actually yielded 91,000 litres of normal straw. Wow. I imagine this is probably worth quite a bit, and that probably makes up for the manual work. The manual labour involved is probably made up for in the amount of money that you'll probably make from fabric. We'll soon find out, because we're going to buy it. That's one thing we're going to do. One of those things we need to do before we move on to a different map is try and use all the new features, and fabric from flax straw is definitely a new feature. Okay, just finishing up the field, and I'm glad. I was a bit nervous that we wouldn't have quite got that last bale then, but we did. So that's fine. Let's just pick up the last few bits. We'll leave it in the baler. This baler is probably not going to be used for anything else, to be honest, because we won't be baling straw. I don't think. Or maybe we could. Maybe we could. We'll just have to straw the straw. We'll have to store the straw. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have to store the straw bales inside of a shed rather than just use the silo. Mind you, at least then I don't accidentally kind of ferment it all and run out. So that's not a bad thing. Now let's just unload what we've got. There we go. Good. And we'll fold that up as well. So there's 566 litres of straw in the baler. It's not going to do anything anyway. Imagine how many trips we would have had to have made using that low loader. Because that is a lot. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bales. I can. 14 bales. 8,500 each, I think that's that too. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah. To be honest, that's kind of like 100,000 again of yield of straw. That's done a really good job. Great. So this is the job for another episode. This has been quite a long old session for me, as you can imagine. I've probably time-lapsed them up a little bit. By the time I actually released the episode, I'm sure they would have been time-lapsed, but for me to kind of manually do all of this, it's taken a while. It's certainly not as easy as time-lapsing. Sometimes it'd be easier if you could like time-lapse the game while you're playing it. Just like speed the whole game up. That would be quite helpful sometimes. Certainly for creating the content anyway. But anyway, amazing. So we're going to have to get the little John Deere down to this field. We'll have to try and find that weight that I don't know what I've done with it. We bought a weight, I think, in the first ever episode, maybe the second episode. And I don't think I've seen it since, not since we ploughed the field. I don't think I sold it. I'm sure it's there somewhere, so we'll have to find that. And probably, let's have a little peek now. Nothing new in the shop. It's always worth a check. If you haven't noticed before, I do like to check that. Let's have a real quick look now in bale loaders. See if we've got, I mean, there is that. There is that random little trailer. Don't know. We could get a few. We're not going to get 14 bales on that, actually, are we? That isn't going to happen, is it? So, potentially we could get a different bale trailer. I'll have a quick look on Mod Hub, see what's available. We'll get that installed ready for the next episode. If obviously it's under the amount that we have, which is 4,895, then ideal. We can get straight on with it. Failing that, we'll just do a quick shop run. Just sell something else, and then we'll get on with that. Then store the bales, I guess, until we can actually afford to buy the spinnery. Seems like a no-brainer though. What would we like for contracts? Okay, so there are some fertilising contracts reappearing. So I'll accept that on screen, but I'm not going to do it on screen. That's £10,787 that I will earn, which will go into the kind of the landscaping kitty. The pot of money, which is there to do the additional stuff, like the track. Nice. So I'll have a look as well. While I'm doing that, hopefully another one will appear. So I'll get a couple of fertilising contracts done off screen. The reason I'm thinking about doing it right now, by the way, is we're in a position now where it's October. You've kind of got November, December, January, maybe even February before you can start planting. Now, collecting these bales is probably going to take up part of an episode, but that's not really a lot of content to put in an entire episode. So the landscaping will just keep us busy. That will take a day of that, or a month of that time away. So I'll probably, similar to what I did with the the house build, I'll probably do some sort of shorter time-lapse episode of the actual build itself, where we kind of install the track, maybe put a shed or two in while we're doing it. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'll probably at some point, not next episode, probably the episode after, do another little farm build time-lapse kind of episode, and just kind of further improve the yard, I guess. But in the meantime, I think that's pretty much it. This may be ever so slightly shorter than normal, but the last episode was a bit longer than normal, hopefully to make up for it. But it's taken me an hour and a half to record this, so it'll be interesting to see what the actual episode is by the time you're watching it, and by the time I've time-lapsed and cut everything out. Wonder how long the episode will be. But anyway, if you're still watching now, thank you very much. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for all the comments. And until the next episode, cheers and gone.